do about education in schools. That's what Rob was just talking about, the young budding entrepreneurs in waiting that you meet who just need that opportunity, but that involves having mentorship, all the things that education provides.
That's a part of it. You know, education is the key to everyone's liberation. And it's life learning. We never stop learning. The moment that education isn't a priority, we've totally lost the game. But even most importantly, I look at it's about success in leadership. So I'm looking at a city that's super majority minority, super majority black. And then when you look at the folks making the economic decisions for the city, tell me how many people of African American descent are at the table making decisions. That's number one. The second thing is, not all black businesses are starving mom and pop shops in the city of Detroit. This was the first black middle class in America, created because of the migration, fair pay, even paying scale. People came here for a standard opportunity of equality and equity in this city. Now what you have is generational wealth that has been created, and we're losing that housing stock. But we still have a remnances of successful entrepreneurship. And so there are successful black firms all throughout the neighborhoods, successful stories like this, but folks you never even hear of that we highlight in Motor City Match, that we highlight in opportunities with other programs going on. And one thing I can say about Mayor Duggan, and if we agree on some things and disagree on another thing, he had a meeting with 50 African American businesses based on retailers being moved out of the downtown area. In that meeting, he asked, with all of the financial resources around the table, have you heard of any of these access to capital needs? Only 3 out of the 50 raised their hands. And the mayor said, you know what? I need to focus on access to capital for black business. And I went even further and use statistics. Because when you have a data discussion, it changes the discussion. The Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago did a study on loans given to black folk and minorities in the city of Detroit, and less than 5 were given by mainstream economic financial institutions in the last 5 years. That is absolutely dismal, and it's a blatant statement. So when I go to leadership boards and I look at the makeup of the leadership and the talent and I don't see black people, that's a problem. And we can't even have a discussion of inclusion because policies will not dictate that inclusion. Most importantly, we need to have a real, I appreciate Councilwoman Brenda Jones on the CBA argument, the Community Benefits Agreement. I think that is a critical discussion. There are many people on all sides of the fence, but what about equitable negotiation when taxpayers have skin in the game? Should they benefit? And so these are the questions that we should be asking, and I think it's a real discussion. I'm glad to work with anyone from the Chamber.
Fortunately, we're